everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you're all having a lovely day. As you can probably see from the title and the thumbnail, this is my reading vlog for Hopeless by Elsie Silver, the last book in the Chestnut Springs series. And I'm reading this with Claire, and I will link her channel down below. She's a lovely, lovely human being, and you should definitely go subscribe to her if you're not already subscribed. But we have been doing a read along for 5 months now. I cannot believe it. 1 month per book, or 1 book per month, and I have been absolutely obsessed with all of these. They've all been 5 stars for me so far, and I have started Hopeless today and I'm already 100 pages in, and I am loving this so very much. Honestly, so far this one is my favorite. And that is insane because everyone has been saying this is their least favourite in the series. So I'm very shocked. I'm obsessed with Beau. I'm obsessed with Bailey. So this one follows Beau Eaton, which is the brother who was in the army. He has gone through a really big trauma in his time at the army and is just like getting back to life in Chestnut Springs. Like, he hasn't really stayed there for very long. He's always been off again, on again, just like back and forth between the army and home. And now he has basically can't go back to the army because of what's happened to him, and has to get used to his new life whilst dealing with PTSD and trauma and just lots of different psychological issues and physical issues as well from his trauma. Bailey Jansen, who is one of the girls in the Jansen group family, which are kind of like the Eatons' like worst nightmares. They hate them. They border on neighbours with them. They're neighbours with them, and they've always just not liked them. Bailey's kind of the exception. She's nothing like her brothers and her father. She's always worked in the local bar that they all visit, and she's been like seen throughout the books. Basically, I think the first book is the only one we really saw her in. But now this is following those two, and they've kind of made up a deal together, and I'm just so excited for this. So I've been reading this just today and I'm 100 pages in already. I didn't mean to get that far without updating you guys, but I just couldn't stop reading it. Like, I'm really loving it so much. And I didn't realize that this is like a fake engagement situation. I wasn't expecting that. So that's pretty cool. I'm very interested. It's kind of like trying to help each other. It's trying to get like her name to be a little bit more better in the community because no one trusts her family, so she's having a hard time finding a job and like being respected because of her family's past actions, even though she's nothing like that. But yeah, and then Beau wants his family off his back about his emotions, so he's like, this will help me say this is where I'm spending my time. This is what I've been doing without his family annoying him. But yeah, like, the only thing so far that has been a bit like for me is the talk around like alcoholism and stuff, because he was using alcohol as a way to like fall asleep because he couldn't get prescribed sleeping pills. And he basically, she works at the local bar, so that's where they kind of interacted, and she told him to pull his head in and stuff. And all of a sudden he just stops drinking. So I thought that was kind of a little bit unrealistic, because if you've, I don't know, I just feel like my experience with people with alcoholism, it's very difficult to stop once you rely on it for something. And like, if you've been through if you have PTSD and you've been through a massive trauma in your life, then I feel like it's very difficult. Like, personally, I haven't been through that, but I have close family members that have. So that kind of, to me, was a bit like too soon. He kind of just stopped drinking as soon as she was like, stop that, like, you can't be like that, this isn't you. And I get if it's like not in your DNA, I guess, like you don't have an addictive personality and you can find some other way to deal with those emotions, then maybe that is easier for you to stop drinking completely all of a sudden. But it just felt very easy for him to just completely stop that just for the benefit of some chick he's talking to more recently. So yes, but yeah, that's basically where I'm at with this book. That's the only negative thing I have to say about it so far. But other than that, I'm really enjoying it. There was this scene that I just read that was so good. Oh, they were like, oh, I can't really explain it because I don't want to spoil it for you if you're going to read it. Basically, they were like sleeping on each other by the lake. They like kind of fell asleep at night by the lake, and woke up, and he had something that men have when they wake up, and she's like, she's a virgin and she's very horny. She really wants to, you know, she speaks her mind, which I really do appreciate, and she's very like open with her sexuality, which I also am loving. Maybe that's what people don't love most like about this book, I'm not too sure. But I am very similar to Bailey with how I talk about sex and stuff. But yeah, so her talking about like this to Beau is very funny, and just his reactions to it, because obviously he's having a bodily reaction to it. And yeah, it was just a very funny and just, you know, tense scene. So I enjoyed that. Sexually frustrating scene. So yes, but that is where we're up to. I'm gonna go read some more and hopefully make a good chunk of progress done in this book tonight, and I will update you once I have some more thoughts.
Hello, I have not updated you very well for reading this book, and I'm very, very sorry, but I have finished it now. I've given it 5 stars, and this is my favorite book in the series. 110% it is. I cannot explain to you the feelings that I went through whilst reading this book. I had such a strong connection to Beau. Like, he became my favorite male character in this series so quickly, and I was not expecting it, because throughout the series I feel like we don't get enough of him, and it's really highlighted how much he's missing from each of these other books. In this book, I find like his personality has really come out only in this one, so it kind of sucks that we didn't get him as much in the other ones, which was due to circumstance. But I feel like Elsie really hid him away in the other ones, when I would have loved to get a bit more snippets out of it. I feel like if I was to reread the series, I might notice a bit more of his personality come through in the very few lines he speaks, and you know, but yeah, I absolutely just was obsessed with this book and everything that happened in it. I think that Beau is the king of acts of service, showing Bailey how he cares with actions and not words, because she's been let down by so many, particularly men in her life. So I have absolutely adored getting to know him and getting to know her in this book together, and it's so good. So we have faked, this is like spoilery, okay guys, because I don't care, I just need to speak on it. Bailey's character has always been very shy, very outcast. Like, everyone in the town apparently hates her because of her family and what they've done to the town. Like, they're basically all needing to go to jail. They're just terrible people. But she has always been outcast because of that. Like, no one has really gotten to know her and wanting to know her, except for, I guess, the Eaton family has always been kind to her and lovely. So yeah, and Beau's always kind of had a soft spot for her, but there is a big age gap in this one, which I didn't really notice too much until it was brought up, which I feel like Elsie brings up the age gaps quite frequently, so that's kind of odd. But anyway, in this one, I feel like, because she was a virgin, and I feel like the way that Beau's character dealt with that fact at her, she wasn't innocent though. She was really in tune with her sexuality, and I think that's what I absolutely love the most about Bailey. She was just so open and honest, and she already had character development before Beau came into the picture. Like, working at the bar, she could really handle herself, and basically, like, she can stand up for herself, and Bo knows that she can handle herself, but he's going to take that role on as well because she doesn't deserve to be treated this way. And the arrangement that they create where they get fake engaged, it really does show that, like, she can be herself and still be loved by the people that matter the most. So I really appreciated that as well. But yeah, I think this one just got me right in the feels and right in the, like, the sexual tension. Like, it was insane. Like, I was just getting hot and bothered over this book constantly because she was a virgin and he didn't want to take her innocence away. But she was like, take it, I don't want it, like, I want to have sex with you. And he was like, no, I've got to control myself here. So it was very slow burn in that sense. Things happened, but I was just obsessed with all of that tension. Like, it was just the most amount of tension I've ever read in a book, and I was here for it. The bath scene where she was shaving was something that I had heard about, and I was like a bit, oh, that's going to be cringe when I read it. But honestly, like, in the moment, I feel like Elsie's done such a good job of making that so intimate and, like, shows his character and his maturity and, like, yeah, just how, like, she's so confident in her body and herself, and he just empowers that part of her even more so. So I was obsessed with it. And then dealing with his PTSD throughout this book as well. Sorry, that's my dishwasher. I feel like she did such a good job of it because he would wake up every night at the exact same time, 2/11, which is actually my birthday, so no, he would wake up every night at the exact same time, and having Bailey realize this and slowly come to learn, like, he was slowly opening up to her and telling her little bits and pieces about his time away in the army, and his trauma was really personal, and she was really open and honest and could deal with it very well, I thought. Coddle him like everyone else seemed to, or didn't shy away from the situation. She was really upfront with him, and I just absolutely adored that about her. And it was just hilarious in so many parts where she would just ask him so many funny questions, just randomly, and he was like, what have I got myself into? And I loved that. I think that she went really well into the fact that he was mourning his career as well, because he always wanted to do that, and he was having to find himself after only knowing himself in the army and having that life path, but now he couldn't go back to that, so he had to completely make up a new life for himself, and I feel like that was done really well. So yeah, that's basically all of my thoughts. I don't know if any of that made sense. Probably only if you've read it, but I can't believe this is people's least favourite. Are you serious? Maybe Bo is just my kind of man, and that's what it was. It was very fine line between what was real and what was fake, and that is something that authors do struggle with, and that's what I don't like in some fake dating books, where there's the miscommunication and you don't know if the other person, what they're feeling is real and what they're feeling is fake. But I really enjoyed how he waited until, like, she knew that this was exactly how he felt and exactly what it was, until they slept together for the first time. And I think that was just done, like, amazingly, and I was just having a very good time with that. So yeah, but yes, finished. I finally finished the series. I get to put them all together. How exciting is that? Thank you guys so much for watching all of these videos, and thank you so much to Claire for creating such a fun read along. I know a lot of people didn't like these books, but a lot of people did as well, so I'm one of them that had the best time. I rated all of these books 5 stars, so that is a very big success in my eyes. Yeah, I don't know if I would feel exactly the same if I reread them, but I'm happy that I read them and I had the best time in the moment, so I'm gonna stick with that. We're gonna continue thinking about them every day, and wanting to go to Calgary to, you know, get on a horse. But yeah, that is all for this video, and that is all for this series as well. I hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more read-along vlogs and all the rest of it, because I'm sure there will be very many more to come in the future of this channel. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.